Well, his eyes are cold and restless. His wounds are almost healed. And she'd give half of Texas to change the way he feels. Now she knows his love's in Tulsa, and she knows he's gonna go. No, it ain't no woman, flesh and blood, it's a danged old rodeo. It's the Bronx and Bloods, it's the dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go round. It's boots and shafts, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and a laddie go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. Now she does her best to hold him when his true love comes to call. But his love for it controls him, and her back's against the wall. And it's so long, girl, I'll see ya when it's time for him to go. You know the woman loves her cowboy like he loves that rodeo. It's the Bronx and Bloods, it's the dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go round. It's boots and shafts, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and a laddie go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. Hey, is it? He called the thing a rodeo. It'll drive a cowboy crazy. It'll drive a man insane. And he'll sell off everything he owns just to pay to play the game. And some broken bones and a broken home is all he'll have to show. For all them years that he spent chasing the dream they call rodeo. It's the Bronx and Bloods, it's the dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white in his knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go round. It's boots and shafts, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and a laddie go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. It's the Bronx and the Bloods, the steers in the mud, and they call the thing a rodeo. Hello. You know, the reason I chose this song is the guy who's being talked about here, he's a bull rider. He goes out there every Saturday and Sunday, puts his body on the line, and does whatever he has to do in order to win, in order to be successful, to feed his family, in some cases to be rich and famous. And he does that 40 or 50 weeks out of the year. You know, and I remember back in the days when I was still working on the carnival. My dad was still alive. Me and him were doing everything we could to book better events, try to fill our calendar more often with good dates than so-so ones or bad ones. Try to find ways to generate income where we would get paid even if it rained. We were always thinking, working. We spent 40, 50 weeks a year in a truck driving up and down the highway. You know, we pretty much put everything that we had into what we were doing. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why it hit me so bad when he died, and later so bad when I had to admit that we were not going to be able to keep our carnival going as an independent show and have to join up with my uncle's carnival. But the thing about it is, you know, I slept on the floor of a trailer that leaked when it rained, and when it leaked on me. Um, one week I helped set up rides and games in one town. Dad drove me over to the next town. I washed the grease off of me in the bathroom and went out and sold toys. You know, went out and worked my kitty high striker and gave away inflatables. Uh, you know, one time me and him, we got so much rain at an event in Shreveport that the National Guard was called and we had to leave 2 rides there. Me and him went back to get them. We realized after we got there that first the lot was too soft, so we had to use plywood to back the truck down onto the lot where we could get to the trailer and hook it up. And then it turned out that there wasn't anywhere to actually put the second ride. It was a little kiddie airplane ride, and it had so you could load it in pretty much anywhere you could find space for it. We took the center apart and loaded the center in the pickup, and then we hooked up the other ride that was one of those Playport things that was on a trailer. And then me and him lifted the airplanes from this ride up over our heads onto the second deck of this other trailer. And then he climbed up there and tied them off. And then we backed out again across these plywood planks until we got to the road. And then me and him get back in the truck and we go home to Houston and get to another event. And when we get back, people, this wasn't just this one time, but it seemed like quite often we would get back and people would go, "How did y'all do that? How did y'all manage to make that work out?" And my dad would always look at him and go, "What? We had a choice?" I mean, we just did whatever we had to do week in and week out to get open, so that on Thursday or Friday night, people could ride the swing ride or the merry-go-round and buy a funnel cake or a cotton candy. And I think that's one of the best lessons I learned, which is, are you willing to do whatever it takes for your business to be successful, or for whatever goal you're going after? You know, are you willing to get out of bed 15 minutes early so you can walk a little if you're trying to lose weight? Are you willing to go to bed a little later so you can make your lunch or your kids' lunches for the next day so your family can be healthier? Are you willing to spend the time it's going to take if you want to take a college course? And you know, if you're starting your own business, there's a term for a lot of small business people. It's called bootstrapping. That basically means you're starting a business with more hustle and muscle than cash or credit. And I've been there. You know, I had to learn how to hand code a site with HTML. I've had to learn how to record videos. I've had to go through the painful process of setting prices only to have some people not pay me. I've set up, 14, 16, 18 hours at a stretch creating pages for my website. I've sent out literally thousands of emails and written literally millions of lines of code. And every day I ask myself, what can I do today that I didn't do yesterday? And of course, thanks to my really good friend, Alex Sikorji, I now also ask myself, what is there I'm doing that I can quit doing today that will help me move forward? So when I sing that song, it's about a guy who is completely committed to his lifestyle, to being successful no matter what it takes. And if that means a broken bone, then he's going to do it. Now, obviously, we don't have those kinds of tests. We don't have broken bones. We have financial pressures. We have family demands. We have job demands. We have the problems that accompany traveling to and from work. We've got lots of things that we could use as excuses that could get in our way, that could derail us from our goals and dreams. But there is always a way. There's always there's always something we can do. It may not be something we could do. It may be we have to ask for help. It may be we have to learn some new skill in order to move forward. It may be we just have to accept that we can't do it right this minute. There's always something we can do. The question is, how willing are you? How willing are we both? How willing are we all to do the work every day that shows that we really want this? Now, me, as I'm recording this, I'm thinking, well, I have no way of knowing if anybody is going to like what I'm doing. And I have no idea if I'm ever going to record it or perform it publicly. I really don't even know what this is going to end up being. But I have this thing inside me that says, Max, you need to record these videos for people. You need to record them for yourself, and you need to share them with people, even if it's just with your list. This is another thing that I do every day. I remind myself of things that I'm scared of, things that I'm not comfortable doing. With me, it's singing in public. With me, it's recording my thoughts on video and putting them out there. I'm much better at writing them down and posting blog posts or sending out text messages or emails. So this is just another thing I do. It's helping me move forward. It's helping me get better every day. And so what is something you can do today or start doing? What is something you've already done that you haven't given yourself credit for yet? I really hope that you will decide that that goal is important enough to do whatever it takes to be successful. And there may be some pain. There may be a lot of stress. There may be a lot of aggravation. There may be a lot of crying and days when you go, what the hell am I doing? But those are just the days when you have to do more, or you have to put yourself more into your goal and your dream. All right, I really hope that y'all do follow my example and that you will start taking steps every day. You'll start truly investing in yourself and your dream so that you can be successful, so you can make those dreams into realities and make your life fulfilled in a way that it's never been before.